This could be uploaded and it's already announced.
Exactly. You know, of course, you're my guys. So I have no shame about saying these things either, because you are my guys. I'd like to give you guys the first crack at everything. And once the announcement's made, we'll run the gamut. We'll do it like we do it.
You know what it is. You know what it is.
We're gonna rock and roll and enjoy the moment, and it's gonna be all ours. As soon as we hear that, we will do that.
You know what it is, sir. Thank you. Let me get back. Let me get the video uploaded before it does break and focus. Coach Trey, we went from rumors last week to what seemed like less than rumors this week.
Right.
Would you agree with that assessment?
I would totally agree with that. We seem to be moving in a direction of solidification. I still don't know as of yet, but it looks like we're going in the direction of a young man whose name starts with the C.
Starts with a C,
Right.
ends with an O. H-A-R-L-O. No, listen. So, but here's from what I've seen, right? I've seen Canelo's name slowly start to evaporate from the landscape, and I'm seeing
Right.
Charlo's name start to stick a little bit more. Would we agree with that
It
assessment?
seems to be the direction that it's heading in.
Okay. So, because I felt last week, I felt like when we were talking, I made like a little video that kind of gave my assessment of the vibe that I got just being here, being around you guys. And I felt like it was gonna be Charlo. And I know we don't know for sure yet, but Saunders made the quote and said that Canelo was offered half the purse that he got for the Triple G fight. Is that true?
That Canelo was offered.
Canelo offered Sergey half the purse that Sergey got for the Triple G fight.
I'm not sure about that. I don't think it was that, to be sure, because his advisor, Keith Connolly, wouldn't accept that at all. So
Right.
I doubt if that was true.
Okay. So what would you say would be the maybe the mitigating factor moving towards Charlo and away from Canelo at this point? And does economics play a role in any way?
Well, my thing is boxing, professional prize fighting is all about economics. But in this scenario, Sergey is what I call the uncrowned middleweight champion of the world. And I'd like to see him at least have a strap around his waist. And with Canelo, you know, it's tough.
Right.
And plus, that Rocky Fielding strap, that regular WBA garbage, this just doesn't count. It's almost like having a regional title.
Right.
So we want the real strap. And although I'm not real happy about the WBC with their franchise levels of this, that, and the other thing, looking for sanctioning fees left and right, the one thing we must admit is that the WBC title is held by Charlo now.
Correct.
So that's what I would like to go after, just so that he can be recognized as the middleweight champion of the world.
I've got two questions regarding regarding the weight classes that you just mentioned.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think we'll ever see Canelo fight at 160 pounds again?
Never.
So what is the point in even holding a franchise title if you are Canelo?
It makes no sense. It's the WBC. I guess it was just a gift to him, because he's never going to fight at 160. And if I was his trainer, I'd tell you, everybody in the world, he's not fighting at 160 again. He went up to 75. He fought Kovalev, knocked him out. Amazingly, he looked like he was in better shape than he had as a middleweight. His body was cut to the T. I mean, he looked great, was strong. Who's going to go back to 160 after that? He's not, and you'll never see it. So that should be a foregone conclusion. Leave it out. No more Canelo at 160.
So if the thinking was, let's go fight Charlo, let's get a strap from Charlo. If this is what's going on, right? Let's get a strap from Charlo, and then let's go after this Canelo fight, right? We know, you know, based on what you just told me, it's not likely to happen at 160. Are you thinking in between 164? Are you thinking 168?
Well,
And I know we don't want to go too far ahead, but I'm
right.
just saying a
Well,
long-term
I'll
plan.
give you a hypothetical picture. Sergey and Charlo fight. Sergey wins. He's the WBC middleweight champion. Now, the prize is much larger for a Canelo Derevyanchenko fight.
Right.
The energy is higher. The economics are better. So it only makes sense to go in the direction of attain and then display.
Right.
So I would like to see that come to fruition and manifest itself. I'd be very happy with that.
I saw online, or I've been checking online, right? So this is only what I've been seeing. If I had to imagine that the sport, the betting lines opened up for this fight, Charlo, Derevyanchenko, I would imagine that Charlo would open up the favorite. I just, and I'm not a bookie, but I just think it would be like that.
Mm-hmm.
Based on what I'm seeing online, though, in the comments, I'm seeing a tremendous amount of support for Sergey, like very, very heavily favored towards Sergey. I'm looking at some of these polls. You got some of these polls, 85% going for Sergey.
Right.
Do you think this is more Charlo hate? People being appreciative of the work that Sergey put in against Triple G? A combination of the two?
I think it's a combination of the two. Let me just say one thing about Charlo. He has, as of late, showed more maturity.
Right.
He hasn't acted like, sometimes people put on semantics because they think that this is what people want to see.
Right.
And I think he's realized that that's really not what people want to see. He just want to see an athlete perform like a professional, and not like not like a YouTube entertainer.
Correct.
So he has been showing a lot more maturity in his interview, in his professional life, and even when he was commentating. And if this is the Charlo that I'd like to see. When they're acting up, and it's more so the younger brother than the older brother.
Yeah.
But when they're acting up, for me, it just doesn't make sense. It's not cool, it's not good. And it almost brings about that immature, bratty type characteristic. So he's been showing more maturity, and I'm looking forward to him displaying that if that was the case and he and Sergey are the box. So we'll see what happens, but to get back to your question, I think a lot of people have grown to not appreciate what they've been doing. And then this is a problem. You get people that hate you, and all along, more people hate you, and then eventually the judges hate you, and we know what happens then because, in my opinion, I thought the young Charlo, when he fought Tony Harrison, I thought he won the first fight. So, it was up to debate and everything else. But that just goes to show you, you're the champion, the house favorite.
Should go your way.
Should go your way. And it didn't. Your actions, people get tired of seeing that. It's not cute. It's not fun. It's none of that. So I'm looking forward to a more mature Charlo, and maybe people will see that and they'll respond a bit, because right now a lot of that polling is sure as my name is Andre Rozier is hate.
Right. So now, in a short period of time, I've seen a few big fights come through this gym. I'll say this gym, but this gym.
Right.
We'll call it, because it's not the same place.
Right.
What do you feel as a trainer? The tension, excitement, seriousness, playfulness. Would you feel it start to peak when a fight like this gets announced, and you feel maybe just different feelings in the gym, a certain kind of?
Oh well, the energy levels definitely rise. We gain in energy, we gain in exuberance, and this is a family team.
Right.
If you haven't noticed, Team Havoc is all about my guys. I'm respectively and affectionately referred to as Uncle Dre by all my guys. And that's because they know that I can't love them.
Right.
And maybe that's the wrong thing to do because look what happened to me before. You give too much love and then sometimes your love is taken for granted. But these guys, and especially Sergey, is one of my near and dears. You can't ask for a better fighter. You can't ask for a better presence. You can't ask for a better character, personality to enter your gym. He comes in, we were joking about it before, as we were talking about him increasing on his interviews and being more part of it.
Right.
Because before, this was Sergey.
Yes.
He was like a politician. And I loved it because people don't think, oh, they say, oh, he's so sweet. He didn't know what the hell you were talking about. But he's gotten better about it. And it's still that same endearing, kind, considerate individual that he is.
Coach, you you just mentioned Dan Jacobs, right?
Right.
Okay. Do you, because now you're starting to speak about it a little bit more. I think I've read an article of something on his side. Has there been any attempts for people to reach out on either side?
Well, I'll put it to you like this way. I tried to call Danny early on before anything went wrong. And Danny never responded, never picked up the phone, never answered. And of course, we have our issues. But alongside, he's never ever called, or even to say, you know what, Andre, I want to move in a different direction. This is, but you know, we're still cool. He never did that. So that really, really bothered me because from a respect point, the least you could have did is pick up the phone and be a man and say, you know, I don't want to work with you anymore. Not that it would bother me because he had become a brat anyway. So that would have been fine by me, but at least I could have still had that love for him. Now, you know, I love him, but I don't like him. If you understand what I'm saying.
I do.
So I have to leave it at that. And it's been more than a year. I don't after all that time. But that's his nature. So, you know, without having to go verbatim about it, I wish him the best in life, whatever he does. I have a gym full of wonderful talent and wonderful young men, so I don't care anything about that.
Right.
I'm done with that, and I'm done with him.
Do you expect that you will see him again at some point?
Well, this is boxing, of course, and I would be cordial then also.
And reach out, shake his hand,
I'd do
say
that.
hello.
How you doing? And that's it, and then I'd be on my way.
Coach Dre, we got Berlanga coming up. When are you heading out?
We head out on Saturday.
Heading out on Saturday. What's the mission in that fight?
The mission is search and destroy, but
That's usually the mission.
yes, it really is. But we want to do it Uncle Dre's way. We want to do it with the jab, setting it up, using combinations that we worked on, better lateral movement, better footwork, and of course, he's adapting my system, and it will take some moments while he's coming along. And I'm not even worried about him knocking him out in the first round or whatever. I just need to see him work on what we're working on, because that's going to be what is necessary for him to progress in the future and become a world champion.
How soon can the folks expect an announcement?
I'm expecting something any minute now.